Chapter 1. My War with Fear and the Fear of War. Saturday, December 17, 2011. Kabul had been a planned destination since the start of my PhD semester in Manchester. I decided to examine theatre as a tool for social change, as an alternative intervention to the current military peacekeeping strategies in a war zone, specifically Afghanistan. I had largely been inspired by local Singaporean Dr. Wee Teck Young's work in Bamiyan. He founded the Afghan Youth Peace Volunteers and Our Journey to Smile, which made me ponder on my own calling, when prior to this I had gone into the prison to teach drama, life skills, and English since 2004, and discovered how meaningful and transformative it had been for me both as an educator and as a person. Having returned to a secondary school to teach for 1.5 years, the itch to answer a greater applied theatre calling became too strong to ignore. Hence, I applied to do my PhD research in an area that challenged me: war, refugees, IDPs, etc. In hindsight, that naivety towards applied theatre is very problematic, as the following chapters will soon reveal. Within the last 2 weeks, I had gotten a visa from London for 70 quid, and the tickets to Kabul had been bought. But the recent 6th December 2011 tragedy in Kabul, Mazar-e-Sharif, and Kandahar threw me off guard. A series of terrorist attacks during a religious festival, Ashura, had killed 80 people and injured more than 160 on the same day in 3 different cities. The Singapore embassy had disapproved of my going to Kabul because of the chaos. Even the Deputy High Commissioner spoke to me on the phone to warn me that should anything happen to me in Afghanistan, help would not be rendered because there are no Singapore missions there. The nearest consular service was in Karachi, Pakistan. Furthermore, my university did not approve of my going because I have not officially submitted my report to the ethics committee. But I didn't feel the need to. After all, I was going as an independent adult on a tourist visa to visit a friend. During that visit, I was hoping to talk to NGOs, universities, and other local government agencies that might show interest in collaborating with me, without which my application to the ethics committee would be harder. So I've called it pre-research visit. I wasn't there to collect data. I wasn't going to interview people. I was hoping to make connections and contacts. That was all. But that phone call from the Singapore embassy shook me to my bones. Fear gripped me. I was so paralyzed by the ominous fear of death that I cried myself to sleep for a few nights. They called me on Friday, 9th December, and I was supposed to fly off to Kabul on the 15th. I woke up the next 2 mornings visibly shaking in my body. I had never felt so much fear in my life. It was a life and death decision which I wasn't sure I had enough courage to make. It was further aggravated by my mother's concern in a series of questions. Now, the responses below were partly in my head, never fully articulated over the long-distance phone call. 1. Do you really have to go? Can't you make your connections from the UK? No, I have tried. Many don't respond to emails. I suspect it's the lack of internet savviness, or perhaps the lack of a good internet service provider, or maybe even the lack of proficiency in English that made communication inaccessible. 2. Can't you wait for a better time? Yes, I guess I could. But I've already made plans with my Afghan friend Omar, who is going to be back in Kabul in December for a vacation. Without Omar, I wouldn't dare go there myself. Besides, he was fluent in English, is a trusted friend. Even though I had only known him 1 month prior to my leaving for the UK for my studies. He was a civil servant. That should add to his credibility. So the answer is no. Besides, Afghanistan has been at war for years. How long should I wait? My PhD is only 3 years long and the second year is my research year. So again, it's a no. I can wait, but my friend can't. I can wait, but my PhD can't. 3. Can you consider another post-war country? Cambodia, Timor-Leste? Oh my God, are you asking me to change my topic? Well, yes, I could consider another country, but I don't want to. I will only do so if the university gives the red light. I want to do what I feel called to do. How can we create new knowledge if we are not even allowed to go to war zones? How will I know if I don't try, right? But of course, this try is a one-time offer. There can only be 2 knowns. 1, you survive, or 2, you die. Is the try worth it? In my fear-ridden world, I never really articulated the above-mentioned answers. I felt like I was Raskolnikov in Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, so wrought with anguish and delirium that nothing made logical sense. I couldn't think at all. I would be lying if I said I wasn't consumed by the fear of dying. As days neared, I spoke to a few more chosen friends and shared my fears. I really didn't want to die. It was so real, I wouldn't know how to express it. I felt like crying whenever I saw them. I wanted a hug, a kiss, or whatever to make me feel loved and supported from anyone at all. I was that desperate. I needed to be understood. All I know is that the army training I had received never prepared me for a real war. What an irony. Now I'm going in as a civilian, yet crippled by a fear I had never experienced. I suspected that experience was as close to post-traumatic stress as I could imagine. This time I think it's pre-traumatic stress. The psychodrama counselor side of me said, "Great, you know how to empathize with people suffering from PTSD now." But there was no therapy to be had. Believe it or not, I psyched myself up, breathing in and reinforcing good, positive thoughts. I must admit, listening to the Secret DVD on the law of attraction, which gave me much comfort, amidst some Christian songs I used to sing, notably Bobby Michaels. I soon realized that it's the external voices that trigger crippling thoughts in my mind, and from there it became an automatic trigger system to the rest of my body. And when I shut down those negative voices of concern and of logic, no less, I was able to think better and breathe deeper. With a heavy heart, I called Omar on the phone. "Hi Omar, Edmund here." "Salam, Edmund Chan, how are you?" "I'm not sure. I'm feeling scared." "How's the situation in Afghanistan? I heard about the bomb blast." "Yes, but it's normal. It's fine here. It's not as bad as what the newspapers tell you. My government called to warn me and told me not to go. I've been waking up in the middle of the night, shaking in my bed." "It's okay if you don't want to come, Edmund John. But if you do decide to come, it is my culture to protect you with my life." My breath paused. I paid attention to what he was saying instead. "When you arrive at the airport, I will be at the arrival hall waiting for you. But if you cannot find me, just find any Afghan guy with a mobile phone, pay him $1 and call my number. You will find me with my car. You don't have to worry. I will take care of you, Edmund Chow. That did it. Omar's gentle reassurance quietly calmed my fears, and I heaved a sigh of relief. My decision was made. And here I am in Kabul, having already won the war waged inside me.